And now let's go to ring announcer Christopher James to get the action underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to XFC Regional Conflict live on Hdnet. Oh, we got a great show for you tonight. I want to introduce you to some people before we get started. Our judges at the side of the cage: Antonio Hinton, Gary Copeland, Tony Mullinax from the UFC. Our timekeeper tonight is John Matlock. Our referees inside the cage tonight, Gary Copeland and the brother of former UFC lightweight champion Rich Ace Franklin, our referee Greg Franklin. Knoxville, are you ready? Well, for the 1,000 in attendance and the millions watching around the world live on Hdnet, this is the XFC! And now joining us from the blue corner, make some noise for Chris Beast Boy Barnett!
22-year-old Chris Barnett from Tampa in his pro debut. He cuts from 320 pounds to the svelte 265 he is tonight for this debut.
And you can tell he's starving to do that. But, you know, the funny part is as big a man as he is here, right? They keep telling me, wait till you see this guy go. He's the most agile, most incredible, athlete out there. And so it's going to be interesting to see that because, it definitely looks would be deceiving on that because he doesn't look like let's say he's shorter, a little bit squattier, rounder guy. But these are the type of guys that will surprise you.
He went 7-0 as an amateur, all 7 by way of knockout. Interesting for a couple of reasons. 2 of them being his wrestling background. As a high school champion in the state of Georgia, he wrestled as well in college. He has a Taekwondo background, and he went to the XFC tryout camp, and that's how he got here tonight, and he's taking on a very experienced fighter. Yeah, Jonathan Ivey.
Yeah, no, Jonathan Ivey is your classic journeyman fighter. He's had 60, 70, 80 fights now, close to it. And so, and he's definitely a showman. He's he's a character. Here's a guy, I'll tell you something, that just loves to be part of the show. And he trains hard. He's a serious athlete, but he loves being part of this show. There's, him being here is as much as being in the cage.
I think a woman that resembles Jamie Lee Curtis has just gotten up and left. And Jonathan Ivey from Knoxville, Tennessee, makes his way to the cage, and he knows his way well, with or without the mask. If you looked at this thing on paper any other time, and let's face it, we've looked at fights on paper and said this is a great matchup, you would have to question how a guy with the experience of Ivey is taking on a man making his pro debut in Barnett. And I asked XFC President John Briscoe just that this afternoon. He said, wait till you see Barnett. This guy's got a great wrestling background. I know it's his pro debut, but he blew us away at the XFC tryout to get on this card.
Yeah, he even said directly to me that he goes, Chris Barnett is the favorite in this. And, you don't know. I mean, the funny part is he's had 7 amateur fights. And the big difference between amateur MMA versus amateur boxing is there's really no difference between the amateur MMA and pro MMA except for the elbow strikes to the face. That's about it. So, and the level of athletes tend to be very close to the same too at the beginning level. Obviously, it jumps much farther down the road when you go. But so, the 7 fights that he's had, would be very close to being like anything you'd see in the pro fights at his first seven bouts.
Ivey, a former powerlifting champion, was telling us yesterday this would kind of malign a little bit as you see him come in, what a big strong guy he is. And his proudest deal is that he has full custody of his little girl, 5 years old. He spends all the time
Ladies
with her.
And gentlemen,
this
first fight
for
is
her.
scheduled for 3
the
5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division.
It's funny that
Introducing to you first, standing to my right in the blue corner, he weighed in at 2 264.2 pounds. He has an amateur record of 7 wins and 0 losses, making his professional debut from Tampa Bay, Florida, Chris Beast Boy Barnett! And his opponent standing across the cage in the red corner. He weighed in tonight at 259.6 pounds. He has a pro record of 27 wins against 37 defeats. Representing Clarksville, Tennessee, Jonathan Ivey!
Gentlemen, you can give me your instruction in the locker room. If I have any questions from y'all. I want a good clean fight. Touch gloves back to your corners.
There's Barnett, first time in the cage as a pro.
He looks very relaxed, though. He definitely does. He's like, I'm taking a walk in the park here.
And Ivey has strolled through this park many times over the years.